is so unique and their design is so evocative. They're memorable, even though they have maybe like two or three lines. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my literal favorite character, already said it, was the guy with the axe in his head who never said a word.
yeah.
He's my favorite. I wrote that down. Like, he was my
Welcome to Holiday Film Countdown. I'm Jamie Walter, and today we are going to Halloween Town.
That's right. This movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas, our 15th ranked holiday film. Hello, I'm Tim Walter. In a world where the holidays live in towns and trees next to each other in the forest, it's time to shake up these holiday towns.
Our first guest is Tave Trevino. Hello, Tave. Please let us know what you're drinking and give us a quick thought on The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Hello. Well, I was drinking a matcha, and now it is all gone, and I'm just drinking water. And
Right.
a first, just quick thought is I really enjoyed the movie. It's a good combination of Halloween and Christmas. And yeah, that was the first time I've seen it in a really long time. So I was excited to watch it.
Great.
All right, and our other guest is Violet Acevedo Vera. Hi, Violet. What are you drinking, and what's your initial thought on this film?
Well, I'm drinking High Five by Austin Beer Works. It's a THC seltzer. And my thoughts on the film, well, it was a big part of my childhood. When we were watching it, I had to resist singing along to all the songs.
All right, and I am drinking coffee, and my quick thought is surprisingly deep.
All right.
Yeah, I
And-
agree with you there.
And I'm joining Violet with the High Five by Austin Beer Works. Very delicious. And The Nightmare Before Christmas is here in the countdown because it's so perfectly crafted. The stop motion is visually stunning, and this film has developed a cult following.
The Nightmare Before Christmas was released in 1993, 2 days before Halloween. It is based on a poem by Tim Burton and was filmed in San Francisco. Tim Burton directed our 32nd ranked film, Batman Returns, and also our 30th film, Edward Scissorhands.
Yes, Tim Burton directed those two fun ones. By the way, go back and listen to those episodes of ours. But The Nightmare Before Christmas was directed by Henry Selick. Again, written by Tim Burton. This was Henry Selick's directorial debut. He also went on to direct James and the Giant Peach and Coraline, for which he received the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. Again, The Nightmare Before Christmas is based on a poem by Tim Burton. The screenplay for the film was written by Caroline Thompson, who also helped write Edward Scissorhands. Also writing on this film, in this case the adaptation, was Michael McDowell. He wrote the screenplay for Beetlejuice, another work by Tim Burton, and there is definitely a through line here. The Nightmare Before Christmas's lead voice actors are Chris Sarandon and Catherine O'Hara. We will discuss these actors and others, plus the characters, in depth later.
Tave, what is your history with The Nightmare Before Christmas?
My history is very minimal. I think growing up, I always heard about it. My friends would always talk about it. But for some reason, I never watched it until maybe college. And I don't know why. I'm a big fan of Halloween. I love Christmas. I love gifts. So I really don't know why I never watched this movie before, like fully in depth. So that was a brief history of what I had of the movie. I knew it was Halloween. I didn't really know it was a musical that much until today. So that also fixed my brain a little bit. But yeah, just a brief Halloween Christmas movie. Don't know why I never dove into it.
All right, and Violet, what is your history with this film?
Like I mentioned before, I grew up with it. My parents are huge Tim Burton fans. And I liked things that were a little bit different. And so, of course, they pushed this on us, and my brother and I loved it. And we would like sing along to the soundtrack on CD all the time and like pretend we were different characters, like acting out the movie. And so, yeah, it was a big part of my childhood. And I like to think that I was a big fan of it before it became like mainstream, but that's my hipster showing. Yes, that's my history with the film.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with it because I was older when it came out. I had seen bits and pieces of it, had never sat down and really watched it all until we started looking at it for this podcast. So it was somewhat new when we started discussing the lineup.
Same here to some extent. I had seen it definitely when it came out, not in theaters. And I knew the story. I have a child who's really into it, so I would see it in the background.
All right, let's check out the trailer.
Imagine a fantastic journey to the very edge of reality.
Surprised, aren't you?
Imagine a world where night lasts forever.
I am the Pumpkin King!
And every shadow has a life of its own.
The flesh crawls!
Touchstone Pictures presents a movie where anything can happen. Imagine what your parents will think. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, rated PG. Now playing at a theater near you.
All right, so what do you think of the trailer? If you hadn't already seen the movie, would it get you thinking that you want to go see it?
Yeah, I feel like if it came out today,
Uh-huh.
I 100% would be super into it and would go see it. I do feel like I remember seeing the trailer as a kid, and I was really stubborn as a kid
Yeah.
and refused to watch anything animated. So I feel like that is why
Oh,
I'm not like that anymore.
You
But-
you were definitely a hipster as a kid
Yeah,
too.
so I feel like that explains why I never really saw it. But if I saw it today, like that trailer, 100% Halloween. I love musicals, and that trailer was funny, obviously. So yeah, I definitely would be enticed to see it today.
It actually doesn't mention that it's a musical in the trailer.
Yeah, well, I feel like the songs, like at least I guess I've seen it now, but I think the songs are already catchy, and so I was like, yeah, I don't know. You're kind of right though. It doesn't mention it,
Yeah.
but it is a musical, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
And there was a lot of music in the trailer.
yeah,
You could hear them singing.
yeah.
Was it pretty true to what the movie is about? You think?
Kind of.
Of like it being a musical.
Well,
No, just of what it is. Sometimes they'll add in scenes that they actually took
Oh.
away from the movie, and you're kind of like, wait, that didn't happen in the movie.
I don't think there's enough footage to actually take away any scenes.
Uh-huh.
But they did splice like Sally saying, "Look out, Jack," and then he's falling into Christmas land, like as if she's there in that scene.
Right. She
Um,
wasn't.
Yeah. But I think it does kind of capture it. It's just definitely an older style trailer, the whole in a world.
Yeah.
And it's very cliche, like world of magic.
Uh-huh.
It really highlights that it's like a kid's film, but I would say it's more of a family film than a kid's film. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it
that
is.
definitely makes sense.
Did it give anything away to you as far as where the story was going?
I mean, for me, I don't think so. I think it just gave to me that looked more of like a love story, and I do feel like when I watched it, I didn't get that until the end though. That's just me
Right.
being honest. I really didn't realize it was a love. And then what it said in the trailer about them being dreamers, I just put it together right now that Jack and Sally were both completely dreaming about two different things, and then it met. So that actually didn't click until the trailer. So
Interesting.
yeah, I feel like the trailer kind of gave a love story, and it definitely is. I think rewatching it, I would see it more like that.
They definitely don't develop it very
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a love story, but it's not the focus of the story.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed that.
Kind of in the background.
Mhm.
Okay, well, let's go inside the numbers. The Nightmare Before Christmas grossed $105 million at the U.S. box office and $1 to $2 million internationally for a worldwide box office total of around $108 million. Interestingly, its first run back in 1993 only garnered about $50 million at the box office, but then it's been re-released into theaters multiple times, so it's double that number since then. The film cost $18 million to make, not cheap in 1993, but still very profitable. And with the increased sales over time, it became more and more profitable. That's a very low international box office number, by the way. Very odd.
It's a very odd film.
Yes. All right, let's do more numbers, starting with the number 3. 3 years is how long it took to make The Nightmare Before Christmas. Not to mention many, many prior years conceptualizing and working to get the project funded and greenlit. 20 is the number of sound stages used in the making of this film. And we'll talk stop motion animation in a minute. 93, as in $93 million in DVD and Blu-ray sales all time for The Nightmare Before Christmas. Plus, with its cult status, another, we're guessing, 20 million in VHS sales. 227. That is the number of puppets used to make this film, including 400 different heads for Jack Skellington. And our last number, a big one, 109,440, which is the total number of frames shot for this 76-minute film, which comes out to about 24 frames per second. Finally, The Nightmare Before Christmas has a score of 4.0 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and we will all give our own reviews and scores later on. And it's climbed since our original compilation of this list a year ago. It's bumped up 0.1.
Nice.
So it's going up and up.
I feel like the numbers are kind of typical of some of the Christmas films, how they're not really that popular when they first come out. But then over time, as people watch them, they tend to score them higher and they tend to rank higher, I guess, over time.
Yeah, I kind of feel like what Violet mentioned earlier, like it definitely was something different, I feel like, when it
Mhm.
probably came out.
Mhm.
And then over time, people change and like just interests change. And I mean, I know a lot of my friends love this movie and like beg me to actually watch it. My own partner's mad I'm watching it right now because they have been begging me to watch it for like years, because at least people around my age like love this movie and like grew up with it being like a cult classic.
Mhm.
Right.
I would say it's not really a cult classic anymore. It's very mainstream at this point.
Yeah, yeah, like everyone knows about it now.
All right. Anything else on those facts? I'm amazed by the international numbers because typically, let's say a film did 50 US, it would at least do 20 international.
Mhm.
I don't recall anything being
Well, maybe
this.
it didn't have a very wide release internationally.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just so different because, I mean, there really isn't another film that even comes close to what this is. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think there's anything quite like this film.
Even just down to the 76-minute film.
It's very short.
Because it was originally a poem, right?
Right.
That's what Tim Burton wrote it as.
Yeah.
And I think when I was looking up some research about it, I think they were saying they thought it was going to be like the old fashioned Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, you know, those.
TV specials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was going to be something like that, but he shot that down.
They blew it up into a full-length film, is
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And with stop motion animation, it takes so long to make.
Yeah.
Feasibly, they couldn't make it longer, probably. It would have taken another year or so.
All right, because it was already 3 years. I mean, can you imagine staying focused on something for 3 years? I mean, that is dedication.
I'd like to see behind the scenes making of this one.
Yeah.
It's got to be cool.
Yeah, I've seen like the behind the scenes making of like Coraline, which is what like a lot of the creators, like the puppeteers of this movie, went on to go to Lakia, the company that made Coraline,
Right.
and like them meticulously removing the mouths and like
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
move everything.
Yeah.
Every frame.
and if you look at their later films, you can see the technology evolving, and they're using like 3D printing now, which is quite fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas everything else beforehand was like hand sculpted.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, I saw something about how, you know, the scene where he first sees the Christmas tree
Mhm.
in the forest.
Yeah.
And he's going up, and one of the bulbs, I think, becomes the doorknob. Is
Yeah.
that right? You see his face in there. Like they were talking about how that scene alone to capture that took forever. Like it's something so simple. But they really wanted to have it that way, but you can see him as he gets closer, his face looking into it. They were saying that that was an incredible thing trying to get.
Yeah, the one thing I did notice that it was very cinematic for an animated film.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it was beautiful at times.
Yeah.
Like the moon or him flying. I think that scene too.
Absolutely.
Quite a feat.
All right. Let's go into the scene. So this one's a little different about getting us into the holiday spirit. It's what makes it so different. But There's definitely a Santa Claus. What do we think of the Santa Claus in this film?
I think the Santa Claus was funny. We didn't get to see a lot of him, but I think it was a pretty stereotypical Santa Claus. I did like the Christmas world that they were in. I thought it was joyful, fun, but also still like love back at Halloween. I'm calling, I guess, Halloween. I can't remember what the city's actually called.
Halloween Town.
Oh, it actually is called Halloween Town. Oh,
Yeah.
then Halloween Town. But the portrayal of the Santa Claus, I think, was pretty average and stereotypical.
Mhm.
And I think that they made it seem like with all the comments of him like being a little bigger and stuff, like it was pretty stereotypical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did a good job of kind of capturing like the holiday joy and wonder
Yes.
while still relying on the tropes. It's like it's easy for you to get into to understand it better.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you
like
said,
the perfect amount.
yeah. And that this, I was thinking like the song that he sings when he goes into Christmas Town,
Mhm.
like really does capture like the childlike wonder and joy of Christmas,
Yes.
which is always just a fun to watch. And the juxtaposition of the scary skeleton in Christmas Town is always a joy.
I love how they used light and color because in the Christmas Town, everything is so colorful and the sparkling Christmas lights. And then you go back to Halloween Town and it's black and white. There's no color
Except for orange.
except for orange. That's right. But yeah, and it just gives such a different feel when they're in Christmas Town, I guess we'll call it that. As far as the feeling, the color and the light just gives a really good vibe.
Yeah, so back to the Santa. We commented he's probably the fattest Santa in any of the films we've covered. And that's to contrast, like Jamie was mentioning, the skinniness of Jack Skellington.
Yeah, it's all about contrast. This movie's
Yeah.
about contrast. Yeah.
And he was also an amazing Santa because they always save it in the end, but he just saved it in like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
He did.
He's like not even worried. They're like, we didn't have time. He's like, I'm Santa Claus. Don't worry about this.
haven't you seen these movies? And then he just touches his nose and up he goes and it's all over.
I did think that they captured really well of like obviously as a child I fully believed in Santa Claus and those kids fully believed and I would also sneak out whenever I would hear stuff. So I feel like they did capture like that scene of like the joyfulness of like kids looking and waiting up for Santa Claus and like almost like they get in trouble for going to look for presents in a weird way. Like I would go up as a kid, try to open a present, and then I would get in trouble. So the kids probably, if they just stayed asleep, they never would have seen all of the bad things
Oh, you're
that
right.
Jack brought. But I mean, that captures, I feel like, a true curiosity
Yeah.
of kids waiting for Santa Claus.
But I also feel like in this world, it's like taken as fact that Santa Claus is real.
Yeah.
And that parents are calling the police that they're like, this is not Santa Claus.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Right. And they're upset about the toys that are being left because they're being mean and can't be right. So they're calling.
Probably had some injuries involved there too.
Yeah. but you had to admit it was funny to see the kids scream.
Love it.
Yeah.
That was
The funniest one was the two little girls, I think, screaming. They look like Dora. I don't
Yes.
know.
All right, so we had mistletoe. I don't know if y'all picked up on that in Christmas Town.
Mm-hmm.
Elves sleeping, then woken up by the fake Santa Claus. We had trees throughout, right?
Including one that caught on fire.
Yes. A nutcracker
Yes. The kid with the axe in his head.
had a nut.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my favorite. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my favorite character, I think.
Because he just stares kind
Yeah.
of blankly.
Yeah. And we see all this because Jack is trying to figure out the formula of Christmas. So he brings all these things and he's like, okay, one nutcracker, trying to figure out how to get the perfect formula for Christmas.
Well, it's like as of Christmases and the things that he brought back.
Right.
And he had eggnog in his formula, but we never saw it in real life.
Right.
He wrote it on the boards. That one part of it.
So this is our second stop motion film in our countdown. Number 27, Claus, was also, and that one had 130,000 hand-drawn frames.
Oh, I love that movie.
And it was made in Spain, believe it or not.
And then they developed like special technology to like light that movie, like a 3D animated movie. It's
It's another beautiful one.
Yeah.
Cinematically, just Tape, have you seen that?
I actually have not seen
Okay.
it.
It's on Netflix. I highly
I have
recommend
to
it.
check it out.
Yeah.
I remember anti-Tape, younger Tape would not watch animated movies. I don't know why.
No, you were like I said, you were a hipster in your own right.
Yeah.
You're like everybody likes animated movies. I refuse.
Yeah, that was exactly what I would say.
All right, well, we're turning a corner today for him.
Yes.
And let's go on to our characters and actors. Jack Skellington, the speaking voice, played by Chris Sarandon. He started as a Broadway actor. Then he was on The Guiding Light, soap opera in the late 60s. Way back then, he was married to Susan Sarandon. And by the way, she is in our number 49 ranked holiday film, Bad Moms Christmas. He was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for 1975's Dog Day Afternoon. He also appeared in Fright Night and The Princess Bride, plus 50 more films and 25 or so TV shows, plus a dozen stage productions. Then playing the singing voice of Jack Skellington is Danny Elfman. And when we get into the soundtrack, we'll get more into Danny, but he's a former new wave singer from Oingo Boingo, the 80s band. And he's appeared in, four prior, and then this one. So that's 5 total holiday films that we are counting down. Number 41, The Family Man. Number 32, Batman Returns. Number 30, Edward Scissorhands. Both of those are Tim Burton. And number 21, Scrooged. And then this one, The Nightmare Before Christmas. That's a total of 5. And his last name is Elfman. So
Nice.
just picked up on that. So did we love Jack Skellington or what?
Yes.
Yes, I feel like I relate to him almost. I feel like sometimes I get a little too ahead of myself. I do think what the scientist said of like curiosity killed the cat definitely was a taking place. And sometimes I don't listen to the person who's probably advice I should listen to. Maybe like calm down and breathe a little bit. But I feel like he was really eager and had his mind set, and there was a clear countdown, and he was on a mission and very ambitious, which I relate to him a lot, but also not maybe living in the moment and realizing that him combining the worlds, like you can't do exactly what's going on over there because it's not authentic.
It's not the same.
Yeah, and I relate to that a lot. Sometimes I just try to do stuff and I need to just maybe make it my own, but I'm not really thinking about the steps in between. Like I truly did relate to him a lot, actually.
Oh yeah.
So I loved his character a lot.
I think we can all kind of relate to him. And like you're saying, I think as humans, we all have a little bit of that in us. You know, sometimes our ego will step forward and we only want to see it one way and
Yeah.
trying to help us out. But yet, no, it's going to stay on track of what you're going for. If you just would have listened to Sally. Didn't.
Yeah.
We have to find out for ourselves.
Sometimes we do. You gotta learn.
Yeah.
You gotta learn it the hard way.
Yeah. I thought it was also kind of ballsy to make a family film about a midlife crisis.
Yeah, it definitely gave that at the beginning. Like he was like losing his marbles. So it was like
Yeah.
something needs to change. I
Yeah.
feel like we've all been there before, and then the sloppiness is natural. But
Just
he
trying
got
to
there.
figure it out. Yeah.
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 Yeah, like the Pixar movies to come in the future following this. There's an adult component and then there's a kid movie, both going on at the same time.
Well, and also, how much of this being labeled as a kid movie is because it's animated?
A lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Because it's pretty deep. Like I said earlier, I feel like for it to just be a kid.
That's why I think it's more of a family film. It's something
I
that
agree.
like everybody of all ages can get something out of.
Well, unlike Tave, there was a time when I would only seek out animated, and this would have brought me in as a 7-year-old. So I remember commercial would come on, I'd be excited because it had animation. So,
was speaking directly to me.
all right. And then we had Sally, played by Catherine O'Hara. Most know her now from Schitt's Creek. She appears 2 more times in our holiday film countdown in films to come, including number 14 next week.
Is it Home Alone 2?
I don't know.
Oh.
I'll have to look. I need to look at the list, but I know she's coming up. And she also appeared in one of our honorable mention films called Surviving Christmas with Ben Affleck. That was kind of funny. Don't go out of your way to see it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that one.
There's a reason. But Sally, what do we think?
I mean, I could be jumping the gun with this term, but I would refer to her as a mother, meaning she
Yeah, she's very
clearly,
maternal, yeah.
like knew what was going on, very maternal, and was very like at peace, and also was dealing with her own stuff. She really had to take matters into her own hands by escaping, and really had, I feel like, her head on her shoulders, but was also just blending into the crowd and maybe too scared to stick her neck out. But I loved her journey. I feel like she had a very dream-like journey as well as Jack, but just different. She was more, what is it, hopeless romantic for some reason?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I relate to that too. I relate to both of them. So actually, they really did, like you were saying, like this, everybody I feel like can relate to these characters. But again, for some reason, the trailer kind of really put the pieces together.
That it was a love story.
Yeah, and I do think I agree with both of y'all that it wasn't like present the whole time, but her character was great, and I love that she did take matters, I feel like, into her own hands, literally.
Yeah. I dream of the alternate universe where they had like, another couple million and they could put another 20 minutes into this film and really flesh out that romance. But they're supposed to be like instantly kindred spirits if, Jack just gets out of his, own butt. Because they're both like looking for something more.
Yes.
Something more for their lives, and what does that mean? And that's kind of, I think, the central theme of the story.
I also feel like with her character, it's a little bit of a teenage role
Mm-hmm.
of sneaking out and wanting to go explore the world, and kind of like, how sometimes it's really can be tricky to be a teenager because you're not this little kid anymore, but you're not yet adult. And so you're kind of in between. Obviously, that's what a teenager is, but it's hard mentally, I think, to be in that because you're expected to be more mature, but yet you still have all these restrictions. You got to obey your parents, and you don't get to, necessarily go out and do the things you want to do. She was sneaking out. Her dad or creator, whatever, was kept calling her back. And so I kind of see like she just wanted to go explore the world, kind of like a young person.
Yeah, and then her love for Jack was kind of like a teenage pining.
Right.
And that's because we don't get more of their romance. That's kind of like all it really is like this teenage pining. But we know they're meant together. It's fine.
Right. Right.
And she's also very smart. It's not hard, it's not easy sneaking out. And
Yeah, she is really
Yeah.
smart.
She's clever.
Yeah.
She knew how to do it.
Yeah, I'll say she, aside from Santa, was the only one who made good life choices in this film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone else was kind of veering and wandering, but just about every decision she made was the right decision, including escaping.
Yeah, she's the moral compass of the story.
Yeah.
Sure.
I like how she kept sewing back on her limbs.
Yeah.
Her
Genius.
arm a few times and her leg. when
The
she
world building
jumped
in
out.
this story is so crazy. I love it. I was thinking about that. Like how every citizen of Halloween Town is so unique and their design is so evocative that like they're memorable even though they have maybe like 2 or 3 lines and the lines don't actually mean anything, but like
Right.
you're looking at the characters and they stick in your head.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my literal favorite character, I already said it, was the guy with the axe in his head who never said a word.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. I wrote it down. Like, he was my favorite character.
Yeah.
And they didn't say anything.
Yeah,
And
right.
it was just the world that they built.
Yeah.
He could have not been in there, and I would have had a different favorite character, but I'm very glad he was in there.
All right, well, next we'll go on to Oogie Boogie, played by Ken Page. And he was a prolific musical theater actor and specifically had a long run on Cats, the musical. And everyone in this film could sing. It was like I turned to Jamie at one point and said, okay, I'm seeing Phantom and Les Mis influences here because this is musical theater.
Absolutely. Well, didn't I mention it's like I would love to see a stage play of this, but you're right. There's a lot of sets. It would be very difficult to do.
Pricey.
Well, I'm like, you could have the digital screen in the background and like minimal sets with different layers and then just props and costumes.
There's a way.
Yeah. But you're right.
They probably have done it.
Probably. I just need to look it up.
Someone will let us know that. What y'all think of Oogie Boogie?
I mean, I thought he was great. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't realize there was a villain in this movie until he came up, and I was like, oh, because I've seen his character in my life all over the internet or
Yeah.
on like video games, and that was the first time I seen it like in the flesh, like him being a character, and I was like, oh, there's a villain. I thought it was a scientist, but there he was a villain, and I think he was fun. I loved his little scene at the end with all his tricks and stuff of like the traps and everything. And yeah, I think it was just a pretty solid, quote unquote, like villain.
Yeah, I think it was. You didn't need to explain him.
Yeah,
He's just Oogie Boogie, and everybody talks about him in like, oh, well, he's bad kind of terms,
Yeah.
and then that's all you need. And I think like sometimes villains just need to be simple and scary.
Yeah, I think he represents like the boogeyman
Yeah,
and in all cultures, like every little child, no matter where you're from, has that one thing they're scared of, whether it's in their closet or under their bed. And I think he just represented that very well. And especially when he was kind of a little fun character in a way when he was like neon green, but then they changed it when he went to the black and white, and he looked a little creepier then. You're like, oh, okay, you get it.
yeah. No, I think when I was a kid, I was like, not like terrified, but you can definitely feel the fear.
Oh yeah. Right.
All right, well, let's talk about some other minor characters. We had Santa, played by Ed Ivory. No extensive IMDb filmography for Ed Ivory, just that he appeared in a 1995 rom-com called 9 Months, starring Hugh Grant. By the way, our next season will be rom-coms. Be thinking. And then another one was Locke, who is a trick-or-treater for Oogie Boogie, played by Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman.
I had no idea. That's so
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, he was, Pee Wee Herman on Pee Wee's Playhouse, the TV series, and then Pee Wee's Big Adventure. He also often appeared in Tim Burton films, including our number 32 ranked film, Batman Returns. And we had Dr. Finkelstein, or Finkelstein, played by William Hickey, and he was the creator of Sally. Similar to what we saw in Edward Scissorhands, where there was a creator, but this one wasn't nice. And fun fact, he played Uncle Lewis on Christmas Vacation. And you can hear that voice when you find that out. And then the last one I'll mention is the mayor, played by Glenn Shaddix. And he was in Beetlejuice and Heathers.
He's so emotive in that role as the mayor.
yeah,
It helps when you can flip your face around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very theatrical.
Well, going back to the Santa character, I loved it how when he first showed up, when I guess when the little kids captured him, he has candy in his beard from being in
Yeah.
the bag. And then when he goes to the Oogie Boogie man's house, whatever you want to call it, then the worms go in his beard.
Yeah, the beard I think it's almost all his whole body.
It's so
The beard
long.
is crazy.
I just think it's funny seeing.
Any of those characters stick out to you all?
I feel like Violet already made the comment, but the contrast I didn't realize, like from Santa to at least Jack, who's very bony, quite literally, was good and also funny. And I did think it did a good job, like towards the end of showing the different worlds and coming from a kid who loved Halloween. And like I feel like maybe I'm jumping the gun a little bit with the conversation that I would be a member of like Halloween Town, being like, no, we need to keep it Halloween. Like I don't want Christmas. And then realizing that there is an other side to Christmas, like it doesn't have to be all jolly. Like there's a good mix of them. I feel like I relate to that to this day. To this day, I'm still Halloween like 100%, but also love Christmas. And I feel like Santa was a good character to kind of for us to see. Obviously, he did not enjoy, I think, being in Halloween Town.
No.
But for us to be like, guys, like we don't need a Santa Claus like they have. Like we can just make our own. Like,
Yeah.
but I did think he resembled that pretty well. So I enjoyed his character.
He was very sassy too. He was very
Yeah.
sassy.
Just so you know, we will do horror films one day. It is a very intimidating.
Well, there's a lot of different types of horror.
It's a tough one.
yeah.
It's a tough one. So this countdown is everything from November 1st until New Year's.
Yeah.
Basically, it's in here.
Yeah. No, and this is good for me to like see other types of movies. Like this movie, I don't know why I never saw it. It's like right up my alley.
Yeah, well, movie is the Christmas movie for goth kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I missed out as a child.
Oh, I know.
Never
it's
too
like,
late.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it's good to keep an open mind. Then.
yeah.
All right, let's move on to the scenes. Do You have a particular scene that you just love? I mean, there's so many great ones. Do any stand out to you?
I mean, I already mentioned it too, about the kids getting all the bad presents. I think it was super funny, all of them screaming, losing their minds, literally, how each present was so different. I think that was probably one of my top favorite scenes. And also, like, I'm a big musical person and I've known the songs. I don't know why, but at least the opening credits or opening scene song, I already knew that in my head.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like I really enjoyed all the musical songs as
Yeah.
well.
It's
Like,
really
yeah,
good songs in there.
super catchy.
Yeah.
And they're not like belting or anything, so that means we can sing along.
Right.
So that's helpful.
That's why, yeah, my brother and I liked them as a kid.
Yeah. But I definitely enjoyed the kids getting their presents a lot.
Violet, did you have a favorite scene?
I mean, I like them. But I think Jack's ballad in the beginning is always such a moving song. But I'm thinking, like, I like the scene where he's trying to explain Christmas to the townfolk, and it's just the culture clash there is really entertaining to watch because they just cannot grasp what he's talking about, like at all.
Right.
They're like, I don't, what? Like, and
They're like horrific.
oh, that's awesome. And like it's just that kind of culture clash is very funny, and I love like a good scene like, depicting culture clash in ways it's like, oh, it kind of makes you rethink things a little bit. Kind of rambling, but yeah, no, I like that scene. I think it's very funny, very clever. You get to see a lot of the town folk, like, you know, not in their Halloween like persona, and to just kind of see how they see the world is very black and white and orange.
Mhm. It's funny that you bring that up because I made a note about that scene. That's one of my favorite because Jack's up on the stage and he's trying to explain to them. And then he opens up the curtain and there's like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree that he had put up there, with the lights on as he's trying to explain. And then he's trying to explain that they hang stockings. It's old socks. And they're like with dirty feet. And, he's trying to explain how Christmas is to them. And then later on, this is not in the exact same scene, but a little bit later, then Jack says, they're getting excited, but they don't understand the feeling of Christmas land. So he realized, oh, all the Halloween townspeople were excited, but he wanted them to have the feeling he had when he was in Christmas land. And
The joy and wonder.
Yeah. I just thought that was so awesome.
Yeah. I think it kind of encapsulates the main conflict and themes in the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll back up a little from your favorite scenes. Right before that, when he goes to Christmas Town and he's just bewildered, peeking in the windows and seeing the train and all the bright colors. I like that part where he's the fish out of water, figuring out where he belongs in the world. What does he bring back with him? Should I stay here? Would I fit in here? All that. So
Yeah.
it's setting the stage for what you all enjoy.
Yeah, I think another one is when Jack is trying to figure out the formula of Christmas and he has I guess it's like a holly berry
Mhm.
and he puts it under the microscope and it crushes and he's like, oh, well, he didn't quite understand what that was. The liquid came out of it. And then he has a candy cane and he puts it in some kind of liquid and then it takes all the color out of it. It's just white and it's kind of limp after that. And then he's cutting out the snowflake. And it
Yeah.
was funny because I remember my kids doing that when you fold the paper and you cut and then you open it up to make the snowflake. And then now our niece, who is a little younger, she still does that at Christmas time. It's so cute. But when he opened up his, it was a spider in a spider web instead of Christmas. I thought, oh man, that's classic. That's great.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to figure out like the meaning of Christmas, which is
Yeah.
what all these Christmas movies are all about, right?
Right.
But he's doing it in a scientific way this time.
That's right. And it's not really about the stuff that you see, right? So he can't quite figure it out. He has all the stuff, but he knows there's more to it than just that. There's more than just candy canes and holly and snowflakes.
And spider imagery is part of his DNA. He just can't help it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go on to quotable lines. Did anyone have any here?
I did right. It was right at the beginning of the movie, I think right after his opening song, Jack's. I don't even know who said it, but he just said, "Nice work, Bone Daddy." I thought that was
Oh, that was
hilarious.
the musicians talking to him.
Yeah, that
like,
was
praising
so
him.
funny. I do think there was a lot of funny lines,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's just funny for anybody. I
Yeah.
just laughed. I genuinely just laughed. Wrote it down immediately.
I wrote that one down too because it was just the way he delivered it, and then because Jack is a skeleton,
Yeah.
call him Bone Daddy.
Bone
Like,
Daddy.
I know
yeah.
that was so funny too.
I think the one I wrote down was when the mayor's trying to find Jack and he's missing. At the beginning of the film, he's like pleading for Jack to come out. And he's like, "I'm only an elected official. I cannot make decisions by myself."
Yeah,
I got that one too.
I know, it's like, oh my god, that is a little true.
yeah, yeah. It takes a group.
Yeah.
And then around that same time, there was one, I don't know who even said this, but it was, they were looking for Jack, and someone said, it's 365 days until Halloween. And the guy kind of said, no, it's only 364. So I better get on it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Also, anything that came out of those three little kids' mouths was so
Lock, stock,
funny.
and barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were hilarious.
they are pretty funny. And just deliciously naughty.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
Just a way of life for them,
Yeah.
right? All right. Well, what about the moral of the story? The moral.
I think I'm not good with probably framing this, but I do feel like for me, how I took it is the moral of the story would be to not get maybe too ahead of yourself, maybe listen to others. You can still get what you want, but you can't copy somebody else's dream or vision. You just maybe have to make it your own. And I feel like that was the moral of the story for me because, again, sometimes I'm too ambitious and just I am trying to copy other people's dreams when you could still do it, just maybe make it your own. Like it's never going to be exactly the same. And also, it's like where you come from, too. They come from Halloween Town. It's in their blood, literally. Like they did not come from Christmas land or Christmas Town. So as much as they try, it won't be authentic. So you kind of have to be authentic to what you came from and then what you're trying to be, too.
Yeah, I agree.
Because sometimes I feel like, just personally, I've tried to be what others have done and I can't because that's just not me. That's literally just not how I was raised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stop trying to be something that you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And embrace the good qualities that you do have and appreciate that. And I think that's a lesson that we learn as young adults and then a lesson we have to relearn when we're older. I mean, I'm assuming I'm not that old, but so yeah, which is kind of an odd moral for a Christmas story. Because they're usually about family and finding love or, learning to share your heart with someone. This one's about know who you are and appreciate who you are and what you come from and appreciate the people around you and embrace that. Stop trying to be something different.
I wrote, stay in your own lane.
Yeah, it's a bit of it
Mind
like,
your business.
yeah, mind your business.
I
Yeah.
wrote, the grass is always greener on the other side. I mean, he was Pumpkin King. Why do you want to go be Santa Claus? You're already, So I felt like, the other side always seems to be greater, even though it's not. We
Yeah.
just don't appreciate what we have, right? And I also wrote that it feels good to give. Like there's a little bit of selfishness in giving, and he wanted to be Santa and steal the glory, I guess, of being Santa and give the gifts. And
Oh yeah,
even
Jack
though
is
the kids
very
were
selfish.
horrified with the gifts that
Mhm.
but I feel like, obviously it's always good to give and to be loving and giving, but it's not just the other person that gets something. You get something when you give too. And I think it kind of pointed that out.
Yeah, now I see that. Yeah, I think Jack is an incredibly selfish character.
Yeah.
Like everybody is selfish in their own way.
Absolutely.
Like,
We all have that side. I feel
Yeah.
like. You just have to work on it.
Well, and I'll continue what you all were saying about finding yourself because what he was looking for was actually right there all along. And we see at the end, he realizes, okay, these are my people. And apparently Sally's my girl.
Yes.
And then I do think it captured, maybe this isn't a moral, but everybody around Christmas really wants just like one thing, and it can be physical, it cannot be physical. And I do think that Sally and Jack like really both wanted and dreamt and like envisioned something that they wanted, and then they ended up getting it, which is like a good Christmas treat. Like he did see that everything around him is great, and Sally did get him, I guess, in a
Right,
way.
get the love she wanted.
So I still feel like I have that Christmas-ish feeling of like wanting something around that time too.
Yeah.
So it's their own Christmas way.
Right.
All right, let's move on to hot takes. Does anyone have a hot take here?
I mean, my hot take, I've said it again, the best character is a guy with the axe. I don't care if he didn't say a word. He's the best character to me. Well, do you remember? Did he have a name or no?
I don't think he had a name.
Even
Yeah.
better.
So, yeah.
It's probably Kid with Accent Head.
Yeah.
My hot take, well, I was going to say Jack is selfish, but I think we all know that. I don't think that's much of a hot take. I think my hot take is that, well, as much as I love this film and I'm very nostalgic for it, I think that since Disney they've always owned it, but they've claimed it now as their own, now that it's become profitable. And now I think it's just oversaturated the market, and I think I'm almost sick of it at some points, especially during Halloween. I love the movie. I think it originally, it has some heart, but my hot take would be give it a rest.
Yeah, you mentioned that Disney did not want to release it under the Disney name. It was Touchstone.
They didn't have any faith in it.
Touchstone. Touchstone. Because that's not the usual Disney.
Yeah. And then
Now we have Disney Plus and they have everything.
well, it's also like they didn't trust it because it was something new and different. And then the moment it started making money in 20, like 15 years later, they're like, oh, people actually like this? Well, I guess we're going to add it to Kingdom Hearts and all of our Disney properties. And when I was a kid, I didn't remember nearly any merchandise for it. And now it's everywhere. It's in everybody's Halloween decorations. And, that's why I'm thinking it's like a little much now.
Right. Well, the parent guide is PG. I feel like that's pretty appropriate. Do you agree with it?
Yeah, I do think that some kids would find this
A
terrifying.
little scary.
I agree with it. I do think like kind of the conversation of watching as an adult, watching as a kid are two different experiences. I think the music can camouflage a lot of the message just because the kid maybe won't fully understand what's happening. But I do think a kid who like loves Halloween is perfectly fine
Yeah.
with it. And then I do think adults obviously like actually know what's being said.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I didn't realize this movie was about a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Or trying to find yourself. It was more like, look at the skeleton, try to be Santa Claus.
Yeah. And I do think like at least I remember as a kid like musicals for some reason how my brain works is I don't really know what they're saying until I read the words later because it's just like happy. I'm just like
I'm with you.
jolly.
I'm not a lyrics person. I hear the melody and I'm like, okay, whatever they're saying,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's good. I was watching Violet to see if she was going to sing along. The words were not on the screen, but it didn't matter.
I was trying hard not to, but I was definitely singing along in my head.
All right, well, that leads us into the soundtrack. Danny Elfman. Wow.
Mhm.
I mentioned him earlier. His role in this countdown, his 5 holiday films, and all of his other work with Tim Burton and others. I can't believe he sings like that. So the songs here. The opener, This Is Halloween. We have one called Jack's Lament, which is amazing when he's really getting into his little crisis. We have What's This? Jack's Obsession, when he's trying to figure out what Christmas is about, and he's saying, what does it mean? They're just amazing. I knew Oingo Boingo because I was in high school or middle school at that time, and I didn't realize he could go so Broadway.
Yeah, his range in this movie is quite incredible, which is why I told you this before, they wanted him to be the voice actor for Jack, but he couldn't act. He could sing. So that's why there's 2 actors playing.
Okay, I mean, I guess acting, even in an animated film, takes a certain inflection in your voice, and you've got to hit the beats right. So they knew
Yeah.
better, but boy, could he sing. And then the other songs, I'll just mention these quickly. We have one called Making Christmas. We had the Oogie Boogie song, another Broadway talent. This one's amazing. Sally's song was sung by Catherine O'Hara. I had no idea she could sing like that.
I didn't know she could either.
And then we had a finale, which was kind of a medley of What's This? And This Is Halloween with the whole cast. And that was amazing, just like the opener.
Yeah.
The music is such a huge part of this film.
And I think you've heard This Is Halloween no matter what. Like even Tay was saying that he didn't grow up watching this movie, but he recognized that song
Hmm.
because it's on every Halloween party track. Yeah, I think everyone knows it, whether they've seen the movie or not. They've heard
Yeah.
it somewhere.
Skeleton Jack might catch you in the back and scream like a banshee, make you jump out of your skin. This is Halloween, everybody scream. Please make way for a very special guy. One man Jack is king of the pumpkin patch. Everyone hail to the pumpkin king. Now this is Halloween, this is Halloween, 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 Halloween.
Yeah, I haven't counted the musicals in our countdown, but we've got about 4 more.
Mhm.
Uh,
Fair number then.
I know Meet Me in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Oh, we have a big one in the top 10, but I can't say what it is.
Okay.
Teaser. Classic.
All right. Tate, what would you rate this film 1 to 5 and why? And remember, it's a 4.0 on Letterboxd. And remember, decimals are totally allowed.
I think after this, I will be rating it on my own letterbox. I think I'd give it like a 4.5 out of 5, which in retrospect is just a 5. I don't know why. I think it's a really solid movie. I'm not gonna like think of it too critically. I think it was fun. I had a good time. I knew the story. I loved the music. Obviously, a lot of work went into this movie, but I liked it. I had fun, and I would rewatch it again. And I'm mad I didn't watch it as a child. Still, I feel like I could have changed a little bit of my personality. But yeah, I think I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5, and I will be giving it a 4.5 out of 5 when I leave.
Very good.
So you would recommend it to kids who are anti-animation in their early teens,
Yes.
that it could alter their life
Yes,
course.
I will physically put whoever tells me that as a child and make them watch it.
Strap them down, tape their eyelids open.
Yeah.
All right, and Violet, how would you rate this one and why?
You say out of 10, but I can't think of out of 10. I can only
It's-
think
it's
out
out
of
of
5.
five. It is out of
It's
5.
out of 5?
It's out of
Okay. Yeah, I'd take a 4 out of 5. I've seen it so much, and like I can think about it in so many different ways. I think I'm pegging it down not for the movie itself, but for the culture around it and the commodification of it. As I said, I'm a hipster, so if people like things, there's some part of me that are like, is it really? No, really? Do I really like that? But
Are you not wanting to share this with us?
no. I love this movie and will always be a big part of me. But yeah, I think that, I would rate it a 4 out of 5.
A 4. Okay.
And I'm right there with you. I'm going to rate it a 4 as well. I think it's very clever. I think there are lots of different little stories going on. And of course, just the time and dedication that went into this is incredible. So I think 4 is solid.
I'm going 4.1, light bump. I love the visual aspects of this film. The music is catchy and fun, and the message, it's got a timeless energy to it. So I'll give it just a slight bump from what Letterboxd has.
Well, I already know that Tay would recommend it to kids who are not wanting to watch anime. But are there any others that you would recommend this
I feel like,
movie to?
yeah, my family, I don't think any of us obviously watched it. So I think anybody who has not seen it, maybe my age, I would recommend it to. I do think, yeah, if any kid told me that they don't want to watch it because it's animated, I would force them to watch it.
No, you're sitting down.
Yeah. But besides that, I definitely think my mom and my sister, I don't think they've seen it. And I feel like that'd be a good movie. Maybe a little midlife crisis vibes for my mom. I don't want to set her off.
Well, she might get something out of it because
Yeah.
he gets out, he comes to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like, yes, I think in this moment I would recommend it to my mom and my sister because I don't think that they have seen it either.
Very
And you, Violet, to whom would you recommend it? I know you would.
Yes, I would. Absolutely. I think. I mean, it is a very special film in the way that there's little goth children out there that are like, don't really like the sappy saccharine stuff. Like, they can still enjoy a Christmas movie. And I think that's part of the reason why it became a cult classic. Is people crave something different. So I guess that's one of their, like, I would recommend it to people who want something different and to ignore the, like I said, over commodification of it. That it's more than just Jack Skellington pictures on lawns or blow up Sally dolls. And so, yeah, I think it's one of those things that's worth seeing. Like, it's not overhyped.
Yeah. And I agree. I think I would recommend it to maybe some people who maybe don't want to watch an animated Christmas film. Like Dave was saying, it doesn't even have to be a kid. There are adults that might feel that
Yeah.
way. And I'd say, wait a minute, you need to watch this one.
And it's super short. It's not going to take too much time away from anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Definitely, I'm there with recommending it to someone who's, I would say, like 30-year-old, because you're starting to get to the age where you'll appreciate what's going on here more than to a child.
You'll see it in a different way, like
Yeah.
we were talking about earlier. For sure.
Definitely.
Okay, well, that brings us to the very tough question, Dave. What is your favorite holiday film?
Yes. Well, I feel like y'all have gotten to know me
Yes.
a little bit, and I'm really just going to stick to my guns. It might not be a family-friendly movie because I didn't grow up on Christmas movies a lot,
Yeah.
but it's definitely Black Christmas. I feel like the 2001 specifically, so not the
Okay.
first one, the second one, because there's technically 3 of them.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I feel like it just resonates with what I love in movies. I love Christmas, and I love Halloween, and I love mainly all women cast. It's amazing, but I won't talk your ears off about that.
Okay.
But yeah, I would definitely say Black Christmas, specifically the 2006, I believe, version.
Okay.
Okay, and the 1974 version made our honorable mention.
Oh,
episode,
really? Fun.
And it will be in our horror countdown because it
Yes.
was one of the original slasher
I mean,
films.
that is a great film. I feel like the only reason I like the other one more is just because that's what I grew up with. Like, it came out when I was like a teenager, and I feel like that's nostalgia. Like,
Yeah.
but I love the first one too. Third one, we can do without that one. But
I had heard of it, but for this countdown, we watched it.
oh, nice, that's
And
fun.
so it was too strong for this.
The
and
Christmas
it's gonna-
vibe.
Yeah.
It will fit in great in horror.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's definitely, I feel like, my favorite.
All right. And Violet, what's your favorite holiday film?
Yeah, I'd have to say Klaus.
Oh,
It's
wow,
one of
that's
my,
great.
yeah, one of, and definitely a newer film, but I feel like it's something different. And it's a, take on the Santa Claus origin story that like we haven't seen before. And also it's beautiful and hilarious. It's so funny. And it kind of is like a descendant of Nightmare Before Christmas in the way that it has like those dark gothic moments in it, especially when he arrives in town and the town is warring with each other and they've got kids like stabbing snowmen. And it's just so funny and weird and I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite like modern Christmas movies.
That one is so highly reviewed on Letterboxd.
So
And
beautiful.
it just kept coming up. And I'm like, okay, let's check it out. And made the countdown. I enjoyed it too, visually.
All right, Dave, is there anything you would like to promote? Maybe your letterbox?
Yes, actually, my YouTube channel. I do
there
have a
you go.
YouTube channel where I review movies sometimes, mainly reality TV,
Okay.
but it's literally just my name, Taves YouTube. That's it. I will eventually be doing more horror movies eventually when Halloween comes, but yeah, that's what I'm working on right now and have been like the last couple months.
Very good.
Great.
Check it out.
We will list that in the show notes.
Nice, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining this discussion of our 15th ranked film, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Please like, follow, and comment on this podcast.
Yes, please share and spread the word about Holiday Film Countdown. Thank you, Tave and Violet, for joining us. And thanks to all of our listeners. Next week, we're moving on to our 14th ranked holiday film, which will take us back to New York, but this time by mistake.